Hello everyone, I'm Kirsty. Welcome to Hearts Humble Homestead. Today we are going to be making Cinder Toffee, or Honeycomb, or Hokey Pokey, depending on where you're from. Hope you enjoy. Before we start adding ingredients and heating, we're going to get our baking tray ready, because once that gets to temperature we need to do it quite quickly. So I've got a lined baking tray, well, roasting tin, and I've also got one of these because I'm going to make a second batch and do some homemade crunchies with some lovely dark chocolate. So I've got this tray. It needs to be a bigger tray than what you think you need. I'll give you the dimensions of this one. So 37 centimetres, 14.5 inches, width, depth. .28 centimetres, 11 inches, and it's about 4 inches high, 10 centimetres. So that's ready. So in the pan I've pre-measured 200 grams of golden syrup because it never comes out of a bowl properly, so I've put it straight in there and it can get quite messy. And then I'm going to add 400 grams of sugar, and what I've got ready in this tub is 4 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda or baking soda, depending on where you're from. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put this on a low heat just until the sugar's dissolved. We don't need to stir this, but you can give it a little swirl just to get everything going if you need to. The sugar's all dissolved now, so I'm just going to turn up the heat a bit, just to medium. And like when we made the toffee apples, we just need it to get to the hard crack stage. If you don't have a candy thermometer, a sweet thermometer, you can do the cold water and a bit on a spoon, drop it in. And if it sets instantly and cracks, it is ready. It will also turn a nice dark caramelly colour when it's up to temperature. And already we are there. So I'll show you the hard crack stage. So I'll just turn that off. That's done. So this bit, I'm going to take the thermometer out. This is where we need to work quite quickly, so I'm going to get everything ready first. So tray there. This is where you need to make sure you've got a bigger pan, because now we're going to pop that in and give it a good swirl together, and it will start erupting. It will be very hot, so be extremely careful with this bit. Just mix it thoroughly so it's all mixed in. I've got to pop on some gloves because it's already going very, very high. And then we're going to just pour it into our container. Be very, very careful because it is hot. It is extremely hot. I can see a tiny bit there where it hasn't quite dissolved, so I'll get that out. Didn't quite mix it properly that side. And what we're going to do, we're going to leave that to set, then we'll come back when it's done. It will flatten out a bit more. For the bars, I'm just going to do half. So 200 grams of sugar, 100 grams of golden syrup, pre-measured them into the pan, and in here I've got 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda or baking soda. So I'm just going to do the same again. Low heat, let it all melt. I've got my tray ready. And what I'm going to do with this is just put it to about 1/3 of the way up to allow room for expansion. I haven't greased these, which I'll probably end up regretting, but I want to see how it goes because these are meant to be non-stick, these silicone trays, but we'll give it a go. Just the same again. A little swirl if you feel the need to. Nearly there now. I'm going to put the thermometer in again, it's not needed. And we're going to get it up to the hard crack stage. Just showing you in real time because it doesn't take long at all once it gets going, and we are nearly there. So straight away I'm going to turn the heat off, pop that in, give it a good stir, let it erupt again. And pour it straight, being very careful, into the moulds. Just hard to do when it's such a foamy thing, but I'll even it out once it's in and just push it across. I'm using a silicone spatula because it tends to be able to push everything across that bit better. Now, I know that these aren't going to be perfect, but we're not looking for perfection. We just want less additives in our food. Well, I do anyway. But still be able to enjoy the lovely treats. It's already hardening. It's been about 2 hours and this completely set. So moment of truth. See if it comes there without needing to be greased. So far so good. Just a tiny bit stuck there where it used to join. But I'll sort that out when I break it up. And there is our Cinder Toffee. Haven't had much luck cutting this, so that's why I've tried the bars. I normally just use them. Oh, I will do. There we go. I'll give it a little try. Yum. Now let's have a look, see if the bars have worked out. I definitely need to practice with these some more. But we have come out without sticking. I think I'll get a couple of good bars and a few that will just break up to go with the rest. I've put 3/4 of my dark chocolate in there. I've got 200 grams. And I'm going to just pop that on a low heat. So I'm going to make a few of these into homemade crunchies. going to turn the heat off because that's pretty much done. And just let the heat of the chocolate melt them last bits. I'm going to put the last few bits of chocolate in and just let it melt through with the heat of the chocolate, and that just helps it get to a nice temperature for dipping. There we go. Just going to get my first one, pop it in the chocolate. And just coat it completely the best I can. One. There we go. We'll let them set and we'll give them a taste. Well, there is our Cinder toffee. And there is our homemade dark chocolate crunchies. They're not quite set yet, so I will put them in a shot what they look like inside. Hope you enjoyed this one, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye.